let's get started. To kick off today, we have Sonia with Further to talk to us about the handoff from marketing to sales. Sonia is a seasoned marketing and sales strategist with over 2 decades of experience leading brand development, business growth, and partnership initiatives, primarily in the senior living sector. For 12 years, she played a pivotal role at Chartwell, Canada's largest senior living operator, where she led a cross-functional team of nearly 200 communities and was consistently aligning strategy with measurable outcomes. She's passionate about simplifying complex sales processes and equipping teams to generate high quality leads efficiently. So now she is at Talk Further, where she is the VP of Client Engagement and brings that same commitment of innovation, effectiveness, and empathy. Welcome, Sonia. Hopefully I got all of that right. I'm so excited to kick off today.
What an intro. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me and for letting me kick things off. I'm so excited to be here with all of you. So, is it time for me to share my screen and poll the audience and get the feeling of where people are from?
Yes, absolutely.
All
Let's
right,
dive in.
let's dive in. All right. Everybody can see my screen. All right, so before we dive in today's topic, we felt it was like timely to try and assess where are you guys from and do a couple of polling questions to assess your current perception when it comes to marketing lead handoff from marketing to sales. So our icebreaker question, Katie, where are people joining from today? And I'm gonna kick it off. I'm from Montreal, Canada. I do speak French at home, and today I'm gonna try and do my best in English. So do we have the polling question popping up?
No, for this question, just drop it in the chat. Tell us where
Oh,
you're
good.
logging in from, what state, what country. Love that we're being international here. And fun fact that I don't always share, Sonia, is I used to be a high school French teacher, but don't ask me to speak today because it's been about 2 decades since I taught French. So
Come on, come on. So where are people from?
we've
Let's
got
see in the chat.
Ohio, Kansas, South Dakota. Got another Okie here from Tulsa.
Good.
Virginia, more Ohio. Awesome. Looks like we're all over Delaware, Minnesota, North Carolina. Looks like everybody,
Great.
Boston. Lots of different locations here. So this is fantastic. Well,
We're right.
keep dropping your locations in the chat. Let's dive into that first poll question. Um,
Okay.
so
This one is going to be an easy one. Let's assess, how would your team, your sales teams currently describe their sentiment over the quality of leads that you're you're sending them if you're in charge of marketing. So you can select multiple choice if you're feeling like sometimes it's positive, sometimes it's negative, neutral. It can vary by source, or all of the above would be sentiments I've often heard in the industry.
it's
So
such
let's
a
see the polling.
hot topic with when we're working with our clients is getting those quality leads, and it's always good to get the sales team's sentiment on that. So we got lots of answers coming in. I'll give everybody just a couple of more seconds. We'll end the poll, kind of see where we're at. Oh, looks like share results.
All right. Varies by source, neutral, positive. Amazing.
Yeah, that
I'm not
neutral.
surprised. Are you surprised by these results?
The neutral one, kind of, positive, negative, neutral. I'm like, okay, like I want to know more. Why are we neutral? A lot of times, on the marketing side, we hear like, oh, we need better quality leads, like we need more, we need better quality leads. And but that neutral one is interesting to me. But I do agree it does vary
Oh,
by, but you're going to show us probably more.
I will try and do my best on that particular front. Let's go to the next question. We've got three
Okay.
more, and then we're going to kick off content and discussions. On average, how quickly do you feel your team responds to new inbound inquiries? And Katie was sharing some great stats in the pre-meeting, but do you feel like they're able to respond within less than an hour, 1 to 6, 6 to 24, 24 to 48, or more than 48? Give us your real honest answer. I know we're all aiming at under 2 hours, but let's be real.
So we give everybody just a couple more seconds to get their answers in. How quickly do you respond to inbound inquiries? We'll close the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, here are the results.
Less than an hour, 36%, 1 to 6, 14, and 24 to 48 hours. I'm a bit surprised by those because when I look at our competitive market intelligence team's data, they do mystery shopping for so many organizations across North America. And they tell us, and the data shows that it takes 6 to 8 attempts from that team to shops and mystery shops, some of the operators in North America, before they even get a response on pricing and availability. So this is pretty shocking. You know, we want to respond fast and quick, but are we really able to do so? Is always the question. So let's
I'm
dive deeper
relieved.
on that.
We will dive deeper. I am relieved to say that nobody answered over 48 hours. So I just
Yeah,
want to say
me too.
that's a win.
That's the one. All right.
All right.
There's two more questions. The next one is approximately what percentage do you think of your lead reach out outside of your working hours? That one is like overnight, at night, during the weekend. When are they doing the research and filling out that magic form or trying to reach out to you by phone? What's the percentage that's outside working hours? And I do have statistic from our 7,000 communities on that one.
That's so important, especially for that speed to lead question, right? All right, everybody
Exactly.
get your answers in. We're going to close in 3, 2, 1. All right.
So most of you are saying 25 to 50, and most of you are right. There is 41% of your leads that will come and try and reach you when there's nobody from a sales perspective at their desk ready to answer the questions. So how do we navigate that speed to lead in those outside hours is going to be key in today's topic. So I'm glad everybody's assessing this pretty right. And then let's go on the lead qualification question. That last one. What percentage of your lead would you currently consider unqualified? Like they're coming through you and you've got to assess whether or not they're qualified. And often they're a closed lead because they're not a viable lead. Is it less than 25%, 25 to 50, 51 to 75, or more than 75? And that's all traffic source.
Okay. Very important question. A few more answers coming in. I'm going to close the poll here. 3, 2, 1.
31% less than 25, 6, and this is where, if you use smart lead filtering system at the forefront, our benchmark shows that we're able to weed out or unqualified leads using our technology 23% of the time. So less than 25% would be unqualified reaching out your CRM, and there's automation that can really help, facilitate that. So you guys are on par. Are you surprised by some of the answers, Katie, on this one?
Um, Not really. I mean, we obviously talk with clients about like quality leads coming in and how are we targeting the traffic coming to the website, and continually refining our audience targeting is super important on the marketing side of things. So I don't think I'm terribly surprised by that. Again, glad nobody's more than 75% unqualified leads. We need to have a chat about that. So
Yeah, totally. Hi,
awesome.
Sarah. Welcome to the panel.
Yes.
Good to see you. All right, so how about we dive in? Are we ready to talk on today's topic about how do we simplify and improve our marketing to sales handoff? And as Katie mentioned, I've got a pretty big experience in navigating occupancy growth, COVID dip, the never-ending tug of war between sales and marketing. And I've managed pretty complex campaign all while trying to deliver results. So I kind of been where you are today, facing some of the biggest challenge in the industry and trying to always connect the dots. But there's never what I've learned is there's never a campaign or a flashy campaign or anything that's the magic bullet that's going to solve that problem. And it comes from smart aligned strategy and really ends on leadership that's going to actually help things stick. So if you've ever felt stuck between, trying to do all the right things in marketing and not seeing the results on the occupancy board, then you're not alone. During my time, I was generating leads, campaign were performing, traffic was up, and on paper, I think we were doing the right things. But always that feedback that you see on screen right now was coming back. Ad hoc, quote, oh, we need more leads. Oh, leads aren't qualified. Oh, these are just spam inquiries. Marketing sending bad leads. So that ad hoc feedback really was painful. But the biggest painful part of it for me was, many leads got to the CRM and never were touched or followed up. And we were collecting dust of cold leads. We spent money and effort attracting those, and some of them were slipping through the cracks. We felt like we were needing to deliver on occupancy, but we couldn't find where was the gap. So that's why I name this session Bridging the Gap between the two teams. It's not just about sales process, but really collaboration and how technology these days can help you, simplify it all. So the disconnect between marketing and sales is it's not just about black holes and proper attribution, and this is why I came to Further. I joined because I believe operator deserves better, not just better leads or better campaign, but tools, visibility, and alignment. And I think the tools that have been built today are really forward thinking and are here to solve real problems. So today I'm going to share some real insight, case studies, and more importantly, solution I think you can use starting today. So let's dive in. We've talked about what the problem is. Today, I'm going to bring you 5 fixes that I think can improve your marketing to sales handoff. To me, they're pillars that can have a really big impact, not just because they're strategic, but because they're doable. They're actionable, and we'll review each of them in depth. Fix number 1. I think it starts with discovery. If we start uncovering intent early, understanding what the prospect is looking for, then we're approaching the next stage in the right context. The second fix we're going to talk about is qualification. We need to prioritize high potential lead and filter out the noise using intelligent lead scoring and signals. The intent is there. Let's capture that and leverage that. The third fix is segmentation. We need to tailor the follow-up, really by grouping our communication and our messages based on urgency, need, and behavior. If we've captured this in the forefront, let's use this to our best of capabilities. The fourth fixes that I will bring to you is streamlining, using automation to streamline consistent, timely outreach to prevent leads from slipping through the cracks, but always keeping messaging personalized. This is key. Automation doesn't come without personalization. And the last one, but not least, will be alignment, making sure that marketing and sales are looking at the same playbook, same quality of leads, and same goal, and looking at the same picture. I think when these 5 fixes, we will review them with case study today, are implemented together, they really create a seamless experience for the user, but also for your teams to really have a cohesive approach to it. Are you guys ready to dive into number one?
Oh, I'm so ready. Let's get into it because I love all of these and can't wait to see what your fixes are. Let's go.
All right, let's go. Okay, fixes number one. Let's start with that one. And I think, Katie, I've seen some of your posts from Smart Girl Digital. You're going to love this one. Start with smart lead discovery. Because if we don't understand who's on the other end of the inquiry, we're already starting from behind. So many operators I see still are using static web form. You know, those long open-ended field that tries to capture everything from contact information, open question, care preference, and so on and so forth and so forth. The problem is that these forms can feel overwhelming, impersonal, and research shows that the more field you add, the less likely it is for a person to submit the inquiry. So that's where the smart form with micro engagement comes in. Because I think if you're asking them, upfront through a clickable guided conversation, one that feels natural and easy, it might become more helpful. And on top of this, I can leverage all those insights afterwards. So the smart discovery approach not only increases conversion, but it gives your sales team valuable context even before they pick up the phone to follow up with that leads. Who are they looking for? Who is this person? Is it a decision maker, or is it the daughter or the resident themselves? What's their timeline? That will rank, our number two fixes and will help eventually. What care level are they interested? Are they financially qualified? We're able to distill so much information with 5 clicks instead of long open form. Have they requested a tour or even looked at, after revealing pricing, have they done some follow-up action? Now, every one of those data points helps you personalize your follow-up, make it speed to self-discovery, and really make family feel seen from the very first click. So I think smart lead discovery is all about turning an inquiry into meaningful starting points. So that's why I call this my first my first fixes. Would you
Well,
agree
and
with
I
that
love
one?
this. Yeah, I would say I love this, Sonia, because everything in marketing, I always say it starts with who our audience is. Who are we speaking to? Where are they at in the journey? And then what message matters at that moment for them. And with a smart lead discovery like this, where it's clickable and interacting, it doesn't seem like a burden to fill out all those forms, but you're getting that segmentation data so that they get entered into the conversation at that right moment because it's a long journey. So
Oh,
um,
it is.
when we're talking about your marketing strategy, everything starts with who is that audience and what do you know about them so that you can really dial in that personalized approach. So very smart. I love it.
So I invite you to look at your forms and rethink through the lens of what you're going to see today. But I've got a real case study because, yes, we've got the virtual sales assistant or further chat that's always sitting on like over 7,000 communities. But this case study is bringing this to life because when you Vitality Living, they have about 30 communities in the United States, one of our customers, and they were getting really strong traffic and had only implemented the VSA. Great result, everything was on par. But we recommended adding 3 various forms, to really segment and qualify the leads and put them in the right buckets above the fold on their website. And so adding both tools on the website help us get the prospect the answer faster, instant answers, instant tour scheduling on their own terms, and only the qualified leads that weren't looking for career job opportunity or that weren't looking like to contact the resident or a vendor or any other type of inquiry were routed to sales. The results in just 30 days, they saw an increase of 138% increase in tour. So it's just adding an additional, like very targeted button, but clickable experience, not open long form, and it enables, a human touch throughout the journey. It creates speed, it creates consistency, clarity, and all those insights are captured for our fixes number two. So I think when you layer in the right amount of call to action on your website or the right tools, it really create a seamless experience right from the get-go.
No, those are fantastic results. And the leads going to the sales team, they have more information, so they feel more qualified and better prepared for that follow-up. So love it.
All right. The second one is qualification. I think this is where the real practical and magic becomes really powerful. So one of the biggest challenge I faced when I was, the marketing leader at all was not just generating leads, but, knowing which lead actually deserved the time and the energy and the attention of the sales team. So the pre-qualification becomes essential because technology is capturing so much data point, and that's exactly what Further Lead IQ Engine is built to do. So over the past few years, because we sit on an immense amount of data, Further has been predicting the move-in prediction model. So they analyze almost a million leads, so 837 is in this chart, and what they found was pretty interesting. 75 of the move-in, that because we loop back to the move-in, every lead inquiry is tracked all the way to the move-in, came from 18% of the leads. So
Wow.
that is the classic rule of 80-20, right? Imagine what happens when your sales team is chasing the, the top 18. They really focus on the heavy juice. But on the bottom end, 52% of the leads, the bottom, generated only 3.5% of the move in. So that's a lot of time chasing ghosts. So this is not just, powerful insight, it's actionable. So if you leverage that, and our predictive move-in model is accurate on 80% of the cases, so it really gives a really good indicator when the lead comes in. So what does it mean, or what does it look like in practice? If we're using first party data, not just the form fill, to pre-qualify that lead. So what behavior have they done on your website? How did they land on the website? Our lead IQ score will help you prioritize follow-up first based on the likelihood of them moving. They will flag if the lead has indicated or has indicated sensitivity to out of budget indicator. When they look at pricing, did they jump off your website? Maybe that lead got scared from a pricing perspective and they're not as qualified. Maybe you'll tailor the experience differently, knowing those indicators. Are we able to filter out job seeker, vendor, or other known leads that sales is wasting time trying to reach back to them? So our system, as I said, is predicting moving with 80% accuracy, and it's really empowering your team to be more productive, more intentional, and ultimately fill your suite faster. So it's all about speed, but intelligent speed. Would you agree with this?
Oh,
This?
yeah, absolutely. And I'm going, this is how we take our audience, we qualify them, get them into the right segmentation. And then for those leads your sales team isn't focused on, I know you're going to touch on segmentation and automation, which are areas I get passionate about. So I'm tracking right along with you. Having this data is really important for empowering your sales teams as well, I would imagine.
Exactly. And you're saying it for me, even before me. It's like we wrote this together.
No, we
As
didn't, and
yeah.
I don't want to take your thunder.
Yeah,
So
I know, but we're both passionate about this topic, so that's why we built it that way. It changes everything if you implement these five fixes. The
yeah.
third one is, that qualification that we indicated earlier, and the smart lead discovery. They all lead to like better segmentation. So not every lead is ready, or even right for a sales follow up immediately, and trying to treat them all the same will overwhelm the team and waste valuable time. So that's why, I call this qualification drive segmentation. When it's done right, it lets you automate, which is my next step. The next step with their intent, their fit, their readiness, the urgent lead, route them to sales immediately, and priority alert. They need to be alerted about it. Unqualified, block them from your CRM, and guide them through a different journey, different experience. Job seekers, send them through HR for sure. Financially unqualified, I touch upon that. Redirect them to a trusted third party or somebody that can support them in navigating, their next best step. The beauty here is really not about your sales team wasting time filtering, but we want them to focus where they need to focus their time on the real most beneficial opportunity. Segmentation also drives a really powerful messaging opportunity to be more relevant, more timely, and more human, because we're in the senior living industry because we care. And you're no longer broadcasting a generic message to everyone. You can tailor the experience and the messaging to the right person in their phase at the right time with the right solution. It's not just smart marketing from my perspective, but it's respectful, intentional, efficient, and scalable. So that's what I feel is segmentation. So how about we look at two segmentation real world scenarios here? Okay, on the left, I've got my scenario one, I call him my high intent prospect, right? He's someone browsing on your website, clicking on all the high intent box, looking at floor plan, imagery, and then they interact with the virtual sales assistant. They're saying they want to move immediately. They're looking for independent living. They're requesting pricing, and they're even going in the instant answer question, asking, "Can I bring my pet?" Or "Do you have menus for gluten-free dietary solution?" So they submit their info, they're high intent, but they don't book a tour. There's always a schedule a tour button. So they did all that journey. They clicked on so many things. Even after revealing pricing, they continued looking at floor price. So their intent, do we feel it's high? Is it a hot lead, Katie? How do you feel about this
I'm
one?
I would say yes, but I'm of the mindset until they raise the hand to schedule the tour or please contact me, we want to nurture this high intent prospect in a different way with more relevant content to help move them to that decision point to then raise their hand. That
E- Exactly. They're extremely high intent, but they did not take that step of picking up the phone or, requesting a tour officially. So they're deep in their buyer journey. That prospect is really, but may have felt overwhelmed or not ready yet to just go to that next level. Our segmentation engine, would automatically continue that conversation with AI-powered SMS campaign. Have you gotten all the answers to your question? Is there anything else our team can do? No delays. Automation comes into play. AI, bi-directional response can continue the conversation, not in a pushy sales way, like, did you get all the answers you needed? You said you were looking immediately. Is there anything else we can uncover for you? This kind of instant answer, personalized, can really dramatically change your chance of converting that lead into a tour and even a move in faster than the others. So the experience or the segmentation would be totally different for that high intent prospect from my perspective in nurturing that lead. How about we look at the scenario number two, the late night adult daughter. I think we've heard that scenario so many times. 41% of our leads comes after. So it's 11 p.m. She's in bed and worried about mom. Trying to do some research because there's some recent concern and she does not really know what care level she needs. She's trying to assess what her mom would need and what are the options in her area. So is she a valuable lead? Is she viable as, how
of
would we
course.
treat this one, right? Do we send her SMS at 11 at night?
Goodness
Nah,
no.
probably not, right?
I don't
Her
know if I want my
mind's,
best friend texting me at 11 o'clock at night these days. So I definitely don't want to.
I agree. We'll set rules, okay, between 8 and 8 just to be safe on the SMS side of things. But, her mindset is different. She's overwhelmed, most likely uncertain, in information gathering stage. She's not in that book a tour mindset, and she needs guidance from our team. She needs nurturing and she needs help, but in a different way, I would say. And I would approach this one d- differently. It might be able to, start a journey that will give her the right guide, not in a pushy way, and try to navigate what she's trying to find out in terms of information. The tone, the approach should feel compassionate, educational, reassuring, and not transactional at that point. So those were two different leads, but sometimes the automation, or if it's not leveraging the first three fixes that we've just identified, you know, you'll enroll them into the same automated journey for every lead, and they'll get a standard message, they'll the standard, welcome email, and that won't feel like you've captured all of their intent and their signals earlier on. So segmentation really ensure that you make this meaningful for the users. So I think these are just two of the example of the multiple routes a customer can take, but using tools like automation, which we're going to talk in just a minute, you can do effective campaign and meaningful.
But I think, Sonia, you touched on all the many different journeys that exist in this industry, right? Like we now have so much more technology to do the segmentation, to send that right message in the right format at the right time, which are it's just so important to creating that personalized journey versus kind of everybody going through the same welcome campaign, which we do welcome campaigns, and there are very legit reasons why to send those. But when you have that high intent searcher and person on your website who's doing all those clicks, certainly want to treat those folks a little bit differently than you would somebody who's still in that research phase, like your scenario too. So
Yeah, exactly. And the journey is a long one. How do you stay top of mind? How do you leverage sequencing and trying to navigate? Sometimes a person will go all the way, but you will stop and revert back. And how do you re-enroll a cold leads into restarting their journey? There's so many triggers that can help, set the right message, the right timing, and the right tone, leveraging the technology. And I'm with you. Everybody needs a different kind of message depending on where they sit in their journey. But there's AI. How does AI and automation
oh
come into
yes.
play to help us here? I've touched upon AI SMS, AI email, AI phone now, that can trigger our phone assistant technology, can, book a tour online at 11 o'clock without having, a front desk person even responding to your inquiries. And there's AI agent that are coming into play. And I think you've got a speaker today on that topic. And we're also so excited about what's coming. So, but we need to keep in mind all of the things we've just learned and how to leverage those AI and automation together with the meaningful and thoughtful approach to it. So one of the case study I wanted to bring to you is how our AI-powered automation really moved the needle for Segura Senior Living. So picture this, they've got 90 communities. Segura needed a way to keep up with the high volume of inquiries. So fast response, fast expectation, competitive market, digital experience. So by implementing, Further Sales AI messaging assistant, they were able to turn conversation into conversion, and the results speak for themselves. So they saw an increase of 124 lead to move in conversion. So that's really high. 65% of their leads engage in an AI bi-directional conversation, 65%. And
Wow.
it moved the needle faster because the engine and the LLM responded quickly to their inquiry, and it still felt personal. But what's more impressive is that 67% of their move-in in the past 12 months have interacted with an AI messaging assistant during their journey as one of the key touch points. It's not the ultimate driver. You still need that human touch, but that interim speed to lead tool that really speed up the conversions really help navigate that challenge that they were facing with that high volume of digital lead. So the assistant really handles questions, schedule tours, schedule the next call, schedule and weeds out unqualified leads. I said it. 23% were, unqualified and didn't even need a salesperson trying to call them out. That's time well spent in the sales zone for your sales consultant. So the good thing about this is leads that were managed by AI converted at the same rate as the one that weren't touched by the AI. So it doesn't remove quality, it just adds power. And it's not about replacing the sale, it's about supporting them and giving them, more time for meaningful conversation so that we ensure that there's a touch point for every lead that comes through, a helpful touch point. So Segura has proven with this case study that, a high tech can still feel high touch and that AI can play a pivotal role in delivering both results but resident first experience because they moved in. That ultimately it drove better conversions from the lead to move in. So real powerful tool that we've got in our toolbox here. I'm watching for time. I'm almost on the last fix. The last one, fix is number 5. It's creating alignment between yourselves and marketing. So this one to me feels really critical because it started with that issue. If we're going to fall short if we're not looking at the same picture. We need to have a shared definition of what a good lead is based not on gut, not on anecdotal feedback or manual entry. We need real attribution. And that means that consolidating your lead source, all the web, search, phone call, aggregator in one place, and looking at the same shared data can really drive the right insights into budget allocation. So it's not just about collecting information, it's showing how did this impact your sales team. So how many has shown engagement and intent? How many booked a tour? How many have moved in? And from what source? What was their first touch point so that you can automate the attribution from lead to tour, remove any guesswork, remove friction between the two teams. That's the ultimate goal.
Yes. Yes.
And even better now, technology can feed back, we know who toured and who moved and who was qualified. We can feed this back to our Google partners, Meta partners, and really enhance the targeting of your budget and how this can really drive more engagement in the future. So you need to stop relying on manual entries, picking up the phone. Where have you heard from us? No, we need to capture this. There is phone assistant that can track all the right lead attribution with DNI pooling numbers and marketing campaign attribution number. Don't rely on manual entry anymore and anecdotal data, messy spreadsheet, or feedback that is surfacing from the lead. The data will tell the story and will help you make actionable decision. So I've got one last case study on this particular consolidation story. So Levante Living, is one of the fastest growing senior living operator in Canada. I'm from Canada, so bringing some Canadian story to you. In just under 1 year, they doubled their size from 12 to 24 community, but with rapid growth, and we know acquisition, disposition, it all goes fast in this industry. They had fragmented marketing data source across multiple systems. So they were using HubSpot, Further, Yardi, no phone tracking system like CallRail or any other. And they weren't able to clearly put attribution on their results. The numbers were lining up with Google, with GA4. Nothing was matching, and they weren't able to make educated solution. So they decided to consolidate phone solution within Further. Web data tools like the forms, like removing static forms from their website, using all the tools that we have in our toolbox at Further. And even, Google My Business, trackable number, trackable link on tours generated like truly actionable results for them. They added the messaging assistant on top of it for speed to lead and really saw that it contributed to their surpassing their occupancy goal that they had set for themselves. So huge pressure from many investors, but cutting the noise and really removing junk lead and providing clear visibility on inquiry to move in. Them and their agency were able to really show that the power of having one single source of truth in their data really helped them, be more fast in making growth decision and driving more results for all of their communities. So I know there's a lot to uncover, and we went rapidly, and I want to keep time for questions, Katie. But every one of those fixes, they all work together. They all drive one outcome, alignment, and results, and financial benefit for your communities and your organization. So the unified data that you'll get out of using all 5 fixes will only amplify the results you can generate. And when you align your people, your process, and your technology, this is the kind of efficiency that can really drive a lasting difference in the end. So before I open up for questions, I wanna poll you one last time based on what you saw today. Um, what are what are the fixes that you think you're currently leveraging in your process effectively based on what you saw in this session today? You can click multiple choice.
So the poll did just pop up for everyone. Feel free to put your answers in and which of the following are you currently leveraging in your process?
I'm excited to see.
Yeah. Give everybody just a couple more seconds to get their answers in, and we'll end this poll, share the results in 3, 2, 1. There are results.
Oh, wow. Look at this. All of the above, 22%. Wow, you guys are pioneer, innovative. Way to go on that. I hope you use all of the above with further. If you're one of our customer. All right. And the last question, but not least, and then we'll wrap this up, is which one of those fixes do you think you'd love to implement next as part of your strategic initiative to really finish strong and create better handoff from your marketing to your sales team? If you have to pick one, like let's say you focus on one, which one is your next things you want to implement?
Excellent. Got some answers coming in. I'm going to close the poll in 3, 2, 1. Here are our results.
Segmentation and automation are top of mind for our senior living industry, and I love to hear that's. What about you, Katie?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we love automation, and it can have so much value, but it has to be intentionally implemented, and that segmentation is an important part of being intentional with your automation.
Ex
So love that.
Totally. Thank you for sharing your future consideration for strategy. I'll hand on just who we are at Further. If you don't know about us, we're not just a platform, we're a partner for your future. And that's the reason why I chose to join this team. Like, they're innovator, they're forward thinking, and it's not about just providing a solution, but being your business partner in all of that. So we have 120 plus employees, engineers, strategists, dedicated support professional that are deeply committed to your success. And with millions of real interactions with families, it fuels the power of our AI capabilities. We're constantly learning from those interactions and always improving and helping operator make faster decisions. So our roadmap is big. There's exciting things that will be unveiled and will come to life in this fall. So I can't say it all, but just
Ooh.
look out for some exciting news coming from Further. And if you want to reach out to me after the session, you can reach out to me at sonia@talkfurther.com or find me on LinkedIn, or I'm pretty sure Katie can give you my number if needed.
Oh,
But I
absolutely.
will take questions from the audience.